San Juan is the easiest international feeling trip an American can take. A Caribbean capital with colorful colonial streets and turquoise water and no passport required. Before you book anything, here is everything you actually need to know before you go. We are covering entry requirements, getting around, the best areas to stay, safety, real costs, the best time to visit, and the mistakes first-timers keep making. From the cobblestone streets of Old San Juan to the beach clubs of Condado and the rainforest just outside the city, San Juan packs an enormous range of experiences into a compact island capital. Save this video before you start booking flights, because we are answering the questions people actually search before landing in San Juan. Let us start with entry requirements, because this is the detail that surprises the most people. Puerto Rico is a United States territory, so American citizens do not need a passport or visa to visit, only a valid government photo ID. That said, bringing an actual passport is still smart, since airlines occasionally ask for one, and it makes any unplanned side trip to another Caribbean island far simpler. International visitors from outside the United States follow the exact same entry rules as entering the U.S. mainland, including ESTA authorization for visa waiver countries or a standard U.S. visa where required. Because Puerto Rico is U.S. territory, there is no currency exchange to worry about. The U.S. dollar is the only currency used everywhere on the island. Agricultural restrictions still apply on departure. U.S. Customs and Border Protection screens flights leaving Puerto Rico for the mainland, so avoid packing fresh fruit, plants, or certain food items in checked luggage. Make sure any photo ID you bring is Real ID compliant if you are a U.S. citizen flying domestically, since standard driver's licenses without the gold star are no longer accepted at TSA checkpoints. Travel insurance is not required, but it is worth considering for medical coverage and trip interruption, especially during hurricane season when flight disruptions become more common. If you are traveling with children and are not both legal guardians, it is still wise to bring proof of relationship or consent documents, even though Puerto Rico entry mirrors mainland U.S. rules. And always double-check TSA's current Real ID and identification requirements close to your travel date, since federal rules around acceptable identification have shifted in recent years. Because there is no international border crossing involved, connecting flights through a U.S. mainland hub on the way to San Juan require no extra customs stops, making itineraries simpler than a true international trip. Pets traveling with you follow standard domestic U.S. airline pet policies rather than any international import rules. One more small convenience that comes with Puerto Rico's territory status. Duty-free shopping at the San Juan airport still exists for departing international connections, though most U.S.-bound travelers will not need to think about customs declarations at all. Most visitors fly into Luis Munoz Marin International Airport, well connected with frequent direct flights from major U.S. cities including Miami, New York, and Orlando, plus growing international service. Rideshare apps like Uber operate reliably around San Juan and are generally the easiest way to get from the airport into Old San Juan or Condado without haggling over a taxi fare. Renting a car makes sense if you plan to explore beyond the city. Roads are generally in good condition, though Old San Juan's narrow one-way streets are far easier to navigate on foot. The free trolley system inside Old San Juan is a genuinely useful way to cover the historic district without wearing out your legs on the cobblestones, especially in the midday heat. Public buses, called the AMA system, connect San Juan's neighborhoods cheaply, though schedules can run inconsistently, so budget extra time if you rely on them for anything time-sensitive. Walking is genuinely one of the best ways to experience Old San Juan itself. The entire historic core is compact enough to cover on foot in a day, with parking difficult to find regardless. If you are venturing to El Yunque rainforest or the East Coast beaches, a rental car or organized tour is close to essential, since public transit does not reliably reach those areas. Ferries run from Old San Juan to nearby Catano, useful for visiting the Bacardi distillery without dealing with San Juan Bay traffic during peak hours. Taxis in tourist zones like Condado and Isla Verde are plentiful, though confirming the fare or requesting the meter before you get in avoids the occasional inflated tourist rate. Ride-hailing apps generally offer more predictable pricing than street-hailed taxis, and drivers are familiar with the main tourist corridors, making them a reliable default for most short trips. Parking in Old San Juan is limited and can be genuinely frustrating. Several paid lots exist near the cruise port, but arriving by rideshare or trolley avoids the hassle entirely. If your itinerary includes both the East Coast for El Yunque or ferries to Culebra and Vieques, and the West Coast surf towns, renting a car for a portion of the trip saves real time. Old San Juan is the classic first-time base. Colorful colonial buildings, historic forts, and walkable streets packed with restaurants, though it can feel touristy and quiet after dark outside cruise season. Condado is the resort strip, oceanfront hotels, a walkable beach boardwalk, and a strong restaurant and nightlife scene that appeals to most first-time visitors wanting comfort and convenience. Isla Verde offers the island's best beach for swimming, calmer water than Condado, with large resort hotels and easy airport access. A strong choice for travelers prioritizing beach time. Santurce, San Juan's arts and food district, has exploded with murals, galleries, and a genuinely local restaurant scene, appealing to travelers who want a less polished, more authentic base. Miramar sits quietly between Condado and Santurce, a residential-feeling neighborhood with boutique hotels and good restaurants without the tourist density of the beach strips. Ocean Park offers a local, low-key beach scene favored by residents over tourists, with a laid-back vibe and fewer high-rise hotels than Condado or Isla Verde. First-timers with limited days generally do best splitting a stay between Old San Juan for history and culture and Condado or Isla Verde for beach time and easy dining. Whichever area you choose, staying near the Condado to Old San Juan corridor keeps you within a short ride share of nearly everything worth seeing in the metro area. Boutique hotels inside restored colonial buildings in Old San Juan offer real character, though rooms tend to run smaller and pricier than comparable chain hotels along the beach strips. Large resort chains cluster in Isla Verde and Condado, offering pools, multiple restaurants, and organized activities that appeal to travelers who prefer not to plan every meal and outing themselves. Vacation rentals are widely available across nearly every neighborhood, often delivering more space and a kitchen for a similar nightly rate compared to a mid-range hotel room. Now, let us talk safety. San Juan's main tourist areas, Old San Juan, Condado, and Isla Verde, are generally safe for visitors who take normal city precautions, similar to any major U.S. destination. Petty theft, including bag snatching and car break-ins, is the most common issue. So avoid leaving valuables visible in a parked rental car and keep bags zipped in crowded areas. Certain neighborhoods outside the main tourist corridor see higher crime rates. Standard advice is to stick to well-trafficked areas after dark and use rideshare rather than walking unfamiliar streets late at night. Hurricane season runs June through November, with peak risk August through October, so check storm forecasts closely if your trip falls in that window and consider travel insurance. Emergency services mirror the U.S. mainland. Dial 911 for police, fire, or medical emergencies, and English is widely understood by emergency responders in tourist areas. Tap water is generally safe to drink in San Juan, though some travelers prefer bottled water simply due to taste rather than any real safety concern. Sun and heat present a more common risk than crime for most visitors. Strong Caribbean sun paired with high humidity catches first-timers off guard, so hydrate and reapply sunscreen often. Healthcare quality is solid and mirrors mainland U.S. standards, since Puerto Rico's hospital system operates under the same federal regulations, a genuine advantage over many other Caribbean destinations. Overall, most visitors to San Juan encounter nothing more serious than an overpriced taxi ride. The island's reputation among American travelers as an easy, comfortable destination is well earned. Register with a family member or friend about your general itinerary before a trip involving remote areas like El Yunque or Culebra. Simple precautions that cost nothing and add real peace of mind. Rip currents can be a real hazard at some of San Juan's less protected beaches. Always check posted flag warnings and avoid swimming alone in unfamiliar surf conditions. Cell coverage and roaming work exactly like the mainland U.S. for most carriers, since Puerto Rico sits inside standard domestic coverage plans. One more small convenience for American travelers. San Juan runs noticeably cheaper than many Caribbean islands, since flights are often domestic priced, and there is no currency exchange or foreign transaction friction for U.S. travelers. Budget travelers can get by on roughly $70 to $100 a day, covering hostels, casual local food, and public transit, while mid-range trips typically run $180 to $300 daily. Beachfront hotels in Condado or Isla Verde generally run $150 to $300 a night in high season, while smaller guest houses in Old San Juan can come in noticeably cheaper. Food is a genuine bargain compared to other island destinations. A filling plate of mofongo or a bowl of authentic Puerto Rican stew often costs under $15, even in Condado. Street food stands, called kioscos, especially the famous strip in Pinones just outside the city, sell excellent cheap eats that rival any sit-down restaurant on the island. Rideshare fares within the tourist corridor are affordable, typically $5 to $15 between Old San Juan, Condado, and Isla Verde, making a rental car optional for city-focused trips. Museum and fort entry fees are modest. The historic forts run a handful of dollars, with several museums in Old San Juan offering free admission on select days. Sales tax in Puerto Rico runs higher than most U.S. states, so factor that into shopping and dining budgets. It is not included in listed menu or shelf prices. Tipping follows standard U.S. customs, 15 to 20% at restaurants, and a few dollars for hotel and airport staff, since Puerto Rico operates under the same service culture as the mainland. Altogether, a comfortable week in San Juan, covering a mid-range hotel, good food, and steady sightseeing, typically lands between $1,200 and $2,000 per person, excluding flights. Flights from major U.S. cities are often priced like domestic routes, rather than international ones. Frequently, the single biggest cost advantage San Juan holds over other Caribbean island destinations. Happy hour deals are common at Condado and Isla Verde bars, a genuinely easy way to enjoy oceanfront views and drinks without paying full peak evening prices. Credit cards are accepted almost everywhere, including small local restaurants, since Puerto Rico operates on the same U.S. card payment networks, removing another layer of trip planning friction. High season runs December through April, when mainland winter drives the biggest crowds and highest prices, but also delivers the most reliable sunshine and lowest humidity of the year. Shoulder season, May and November, offers a strong balance of good weather and noticeably lower hotel rates, worth targeting if flexible dates matter more than guaranteed sunshine. Hurricane season, June through November, brings the year's lowest prices but real storm risk, especially August through October, so watch forecasts closely if you book this window. Summer, June through August, is hot and humid with frequent afternoon showers, though it remains popular with mainland families traveling during school break despite the storm risk. San Sebastian Street Festival in mid-January turns Old San Juan into an enormous street party. Exciting if you want the energy, worth avoiding if you prefer a quieter, historic district visit. Carnival season and other local festivals bring extra color and crowds at various points through the year. Check the local events calendar if festival timing matters to your trip. Water temperatures stay warm and swimmable essentially year-round, one of San Juan's genuine advantages over destinations with a real off-season for beach activities. Whatever season you choose, book beachfront hotels well ahead if your trip overlaps with December through April, since prices and availability shift fast during peak winter months. Overall, late April or November tend to offer the best balance of good weather, lower crowds, and reasonable prices for a first-time visit to San Juan. Christmas and New Year's bring huge crowds of mainland families and Puerto Ricans returning home for the holidays. Book flights and hotels months ahead if your trip overlaps this window. Spring break in March overlaps with college crowds heading to San Juan's beach clubs. Worth knowing whether that energy appeals to you or is exactly what you want to avoid. Cruise ship days can noticeably crowd old San Juan streets and forts by midday. Checking the port schedule in advance helps you time a quieter visit to the historic district. Castillo San Felipe del Morro, the massive fort guarding San Juan Bay, is the essential first stop, with sweeping ocean views and centuries of Spanish colonial military history. Castillo San Cristobal, the largest fort built by the Spanish in the Americas, offers tunnels and ramparts worth exploring, often with far fewer crowds than El Morro. Old San Juan's colorful streets, especially Calle Fortaleza and Calle del Cristo, deliver the postcard shot of pastel colonial buildings against blue cobblestones that defines the city. El Yunque National Forest, the only tropical rainforest in the U.S. National Forest System, sits under an hour from the city and rewards visitors with waterfalls and lush hiking trails. Bioluminescent bay tours, especially at Laguna Grande and Fajardo, offer a genuinely rare nighttime kayaking experience where the water glows with every paddle stroke. Flamenco Beach on Culebra Island, a short flight or ferry from the mainland, consistently ranks among the best beaches in the entire Caribbean, worth the extra day trip effort. La Placita de Santurce transforms from a produce market by day into one of San Juan's liveliest nightlife spots after dark, packed with bars and street food. The Bacardi Distillery tour across the bay in Catano combines a scenic ferry ride with rum tastings and a look at the world's largest premium rum distillery, and a sunset walk along the Paseo de la Princesa. The promenade beneath the old city walls delivers one of San Juan's best golden hour views without any admission fee. The Museo de Arte de Puerto Rico in Santurce houses an excellent collection of local and Caribbean art, a worthwhile stop for visitors wanting a break from beaches and forts. Vieques, reachable by ferry or small plane, offers an even brighter bioluminescent bay and quieter beaches than the mainland, worth an overnight for travelers with extra time. A day trip west to Rincon delivers some of the island's best surfing and sunset views, a completely different coastal vibe from the urban energy of San Juan itself. Puerto Rican cuisine blends Spanish, African, and Taino influences into dishes like mofongo, mashed fried plantains, and lechon, slow-roasted pork, that define the island's food identity. Spanish is the primary language, though English is widely spoken in San Juan's tourist areas, a genuine advantage for American visitors compared to other Caribbean destinations. Puerto Ricans are famously warm and social. Greetings often include a handshake or light cheek kiss among acquaintances, more physically warm than typical mainland U.S. business etiquette. Meal times run later than typical U.S. schedules. Dinner reservations at 8 or 9 at night are completely normal, especially in Condado and Old San Juan's better restaurants. Salsa and reggaeton both trace deep roots to Puerto Rico, and live music spills out of bars and plazas most nights, especially around La Placita and Old San Juan. Casual dress is the norm nearly everywhere, even at nicer restaurants, though beachwear alone is generally considered too casual once you step away from the sand. Tipping follows U.S. custom rather than broader Caribbean norms. 15 to 20% at restaurants is expected and genuinely appreciated by service staff. Learning a few basic Spanish phrases, hello, thank you, and please, is appreciated even though English gets you through nearly any tourist interaction without issue. And embrace the island's slower pace, called being on island time. Restaurants and attractions often run more relaxed than mainland schedules, a feature rather than a flaw for most visitors. Puerto Rican coffee, grown in the island's central mountains, has a genuine following among coffee enthusiasts, and a cafecito from a local kiosco is worth trying at least once. Piragua carts, shaved ice topped with fruit syrup, are a beloved street treat found around old San Juan's plazas, an easy, cheap way to cool off between sites. Religious festivals and patron saint celebrations happen throughout the year in towns across the island. Colorful events worth checking the calendar for if one lines up with your visit. The biggest mistake is not realizing a passport is unnecessary. Some travelers cancel or delay trips assuming they need one when a standard photo ID is all that is required for U.S. citizens. Staying exclusively in Old San Juan without a car or rideshare budget cuts visitors off from El Yunque, the bioluminescent bay, and other highlights that require leaving the historic district. Underestimating the Caribbean sun and humidity leads to sunburn and dehydration fast. Pack real sunscreen and drink more water than feels necessary, especially during midday sightseeing. Booking a hurricane season trip without travel insurance or flexible cancellation policies can turn a storm disruption into a costly, stressful situation rather than a manageable delay. Skipping San Cristobal Fort because El Morro gets all the attention means missing tunnels and ramparts that many visitors end up preferring once they actually compare the two. Assuming all of San Juan is walkable like Old San Juan trips up visitors staying in Condado or Isla Verde, where distances and heat make rideshare or a car genuinely necessary. Not booking the bioluminescent bay tour in advance leads to disappointment. This experience regularly sells out days ahead, especially around the new moon when the glow is strongest. Ignoring the rest of Puerto Rico beyond San Juan means missing beaches, rainforest, and small towns that round out what is genuinely a diverse island beyond the capital. And exchanging currency at all is simply unnecessary. Some visitors bring euros or ask about exchange rates out of habit, forgetting Puerto Rico uses the US dollar exclusively. Overpacking for a foreign trip mentality, extra adapters, backup documents, and excess cash is wasted effort here, since Puerto Rico runs on standard US plugs, voltage, and payment systems. Trying to see Old San Juan, the beaches, and El Yunque all in a single rushed day leaves visitors exhausted and unable to properly enjoy any of the three. And underestimating how different San Juan feels from other Caribbean islands surprises some visitors. Its urban energy and colonial architecture set it apart from a typical resort island stop. San Juan is the easiest first international feeling trip for American travelers. No passport, no currency exchange, and English widely spoken, yet it feels genuinely different from a mainland city. Beach lovers who also want history and culture find a rare combination here. Colonial forts and cobblestone streets sit minutes from resort-quality beaches in Condado and Isla Verde. Families traveling with kids generally find San Juan manageable. U.S.-style infrastructure, familiar food options, and short flights from most major U.S. cities ease the logistics considerably. Nature lovers benefit from El Yunque rainforest and the bioluminescent bay sitting within easy day trip range, a genuine rarity for a destination this accessible from the U.S. mainland. Travelers seeking an all-inclusive resort experience may want to look toward Punta Cana or Cancun. Instead, San Juan leans more toward boutique hotels and independent exploration. San Juan rewards travelers who enjoy walking historic streets and trying local food over those who want a single resort compound with everything included on site. Short weekend trips work genuinely well here given the easy flights from the U.S. mainland, though a full week lets you add El Yunque, Culebra, and the bioluminescent bay properly. In the end, whether San Juan is right for you comes down to one question. Are you ready for Caribbean beaches and colonial history without the passport hassle of a truly international trip? History buffs will find few U.S. destinations with this depth of colonial-era architecture and fortification still standing and open to explore in person. Foodies chasing something beyond typical resort dining will find a genuinely distinct Caribbean cuisine here. One that rarely gets the same spotlight as Mexican or Cuban food back home. And travelers craving a quick escape without the planning overhead of a full international trip We'll find San Juan is about as close as it gets to teleporting straight to the Caribbean. That is everything you need to know before visiting San Juan in 2026. From entry requirements to knowing exactly what to skip. Which area are you most excited to explore? Old San Juan, Condado, or Isla Verde? Tell us in the comments below. If this guide helped you plan your trip, please like and subscribe for more honest, in-depth travel guides from our small channel. Gracias for watching, and aloha from Kahana Designs. Until next time, safe travels and sweet dreams.